initial takeaways on things to work on?
Yeah. Penalties, playing cleaner technique, better decisions. Too many penalties showed up both sides, and I thought in the first half, defense got the offense behind the sticks, and the offense, whether it was a penalty or we had too many drops, especially in the first portion of the scrimmage, way too many drops. Because when we catch the ball and we don't commit penalties on offense, we were moving it pretty well. So defensively, I thought, the flashes, especially early, and then, it was a long day today. It was 135 plays, and it's supposed to be hard, and it got hard, and a few guys could sustain, and a couple guys couldn't. So that's mentally and physically, emotionally, we got to build our stamina.
Any further along in the quarterback breakdown?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, you guys watch it. Sam does some really good things with his feet. He's also throwing the ball pretty well at times. Just got to be real clean on the decision making. I thought Fernando and Ben also threw some good balls today. Yeah, we'll see.
Would you consider playing two quarterbacks?
Consider about anything right now. We're looking for the guys to keep competing and improving, and for somebody to separate themselves. But I would say everything's on the table right now. We're just we have day off tomorrow. We got a rack of 2 heavy days in a row. Okay, and then school starts, and then 3, and then get ready for game week. So we'll see what happens in the next week or so.
Are you taking practice out of here for a couple of days next week?
That's the plan. However, whoever's in charge of the weather didn't cooperate as well as we would have liked, so we might have to adjust that plan. We're just chasing the heat. That's all we're doing. And we had a couple days set aside, and traditionally there would be heat nearby that we could get into, but the weather's not quite cooperating, so we might have to adjust that schedule a little bit. We'll find some though. We got a couple things set up potentially. Early next week it's supposed to be cooler than it has been. So, but we have a couple options for later in the week next week.
Can you talk about what David Reese has done for you?
And I really enjoyed having David here. He's a passionate guy. He loves football. He's intense. Takes it very seriously. Very competitive guy. So I thought he's done a nice job.
Worked himself into.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What's he do well on the field?
He's got quick twitch. He's powerful. He's probably 235. Real lean guy, but twitchy, and chases the ball. I mean, he runs and runs and runs, and he's got some speed to him. So been a welcome addition.
Marquise Montgomery had a big day.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what type of dimension he adds to this offense?
Big, catch radius, strong hands. Just got to get him more and more reps and feeling where he can play fast in the offense. Probably thinking a little bit less and reacting a little bit more. But he can catch the ball, and again, he's a big target. I don't know if he stood next to him, but he's a good-sized guy.
What's it meant to have Matthew Cindric back with you this year?
Yeah, it's been great. He's such a veteran. I mean, hell, he's been here longer than most of some of you. He's just been here a long time, and he knows what it takes. He understands the process, and he's smart. He's tough. He's extremely accountable. Just a great leader.
He said that you came to him at the end of last year and said you'd be happy to have him back. Yeah. Was it much of a discussion?
Well, I think in those moments when guys are deciding what they're going to do next, I think our job is to, what it can't turn into is like this pitch and, negotiation, deal making. It's, here's what we would like, we obviously would love to have him back, but you never want to feel like you have to talk somebody into it. Because I've seen that before, and the guy comes back and it feels like, well, I'm doing everybody a favor. That's not a good relationship to have.
That's not what this was, right?
Not at all. No. I mean, of course we would love to have him back, and we had a plan for him and plan for what we're doing moving forward. And
you didn't have to twist his arm?
No. That was Cindo. I just, in those moments for us, it needs to be genuine, and it needs to be a partnership, and we love having him here. And I mean, like I said before, he kind of embodies everything that you're looking for.
Blesh said he really adds a real brain to your offense.
Yeah. I mean, he's a smart guy, really smart.
Yeah. So you had a chance for a better audition for the NFL.
Sure. More reps, healthy. You got it. You want to play after this? You just the more you can put on tape, the better. You got it.
What's the status of Starling? Or Starling status?
Don't know anything yet. Yeah, so he's undergoing some tests, so we'll hope to know something soon.
Speaking of injuries, what's the status of guys like
Okay. Woodson. Craig's in a good spot. We're just, doing a little bit of treatment on him, but he's in a good spot. We're just, there's a bunch of guys who are dinged up a bit, and we're kind of managing their reps, especially guys that have a higher play count in games. Make sure you got to get them ready. Also want to be, mindful of the guys that have played thousands of reps in games.
among other injuries? What's the status of guys like Monroe Young, Kenneth Robinson, Grant Daly, and then I know this was really recent, but Nate Uchida?
Yeah, all expected back, but I couldn't give you the time frame. That's between the players and the sports med staff. Yeah, so I don't decide when they come back. We help them, the sports med staff, the return to play specialist. That's their department, and then they let us know when they're good to go, and we plug them in. But we're just excited to help those guys recover and get back as soon as possible.
Is it harder to get a read on Sam with the yellow jersey?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like live. We did some live last scrimmage, and I think especially a guy like Sam, that a big part of his game is using those feet, and you can see the speed. But again, we're trying to get, there's gray area in there. How much is enough and how much is too much? There's no perfect answer to any of that. But
So you just got to sort of project how you...
Yeah, and like I said, we do it. We did it last week. We may do it again. It just kind of depends on the situation. So, yep.
There's two sides to the takeaways this week. How do you view them as a head coach? Because there are a lot of
Well,
turnovers.
if there's takeaways, you really want them to be earned. Earned by the defense, not where it's, guy lands in the post player's hands because it was a gift or we dropped the ball. You don't obviously want to give the ball away at all. So we got to practice great ball security, and we have to make great decisions with the football at quarterback and anybody that touches it. To say we're going to go through the season without one, it'd be a lofty goal. That'd be great. I've never seen that happen. And then on defense, it's the habits, it's effort to the ball, it's a tip, it's a punch out. It's, guys who have more experience tend to be more apt to be ready to punch the ball because they have comfort in their technique and knowing where they're going to be to make the play. But at the end of the day in practice, you really want those to be earned, not given.
Did you feel they were earned this week?
Some, and some not. That's just going back to decision making, and it's obviously the quarterback. If there's an interception, everybody's going to talk about the quarterback, and some of them were the quarterback. And then there's times when it's a tip, or maybe the receiver didn't come back down the stem like he was expected to, and so ultimately it's a team turnover. So we got to remedy all those the best we can.
15 practices done. What are your thoughts on the offensive line to start?
I think they've made a big jump. I think limiting the number of negative plays has been noticeable. I think the communication's gotten better. I think they've gotten a lot of reps together as a group. There's multiple guys that have been playing with the first and second unit, and credit to Coach Blesh and getting those guys working together at a pretty quick pace. And we've got new guys that have just joined us that are taking significant reps that are going to really help us. And we're always needing to get better. But I'm pleased with the effort in that group. They're developing a mentality that you really want from that O-line, a dominating physical mentality, and we want to build on that.
The running backs had a pretty good day collectively. What are your thoughts on the RB2 sort of battle that's going on?
RB2. Yeah. When did that all start?
Fantasy football.
Fantasy. Wide receiver 1, QB 1, RB2. RB2. So the backup running back?
Yeah.
Got it. I think it's a few guys right now. I thought Isaiah's done some good stuff. He's a real mature guy. He's strong, I think. Ashton Streddick's had a really good camp. Ashton's been here a while, and he can do some things. And then the Jet adds a little different dimension, different style. I think all those guys could help us. Just a matter of how the game's going and how they progress. But each of those guys, we're glad they're here. We've had some injuries in that room, and hopefully getting a guy or two back sooner than later. But we'll see.
Early on in the scrimmage, Ben Finley showcased his athleticism and
He
scrambling
did.
drills. How does it change the calculus knowing he has that in his repertoire?
Well, I think Coach Spav would tell you each QB's got some different strengths, but it doesn't mean Ben throws the ball pretty dang well, so does for all of them do. But Ben's probably a little bit sneakier runner than you would maybe give him credit for, and so I thought you saw that today a couple times. We've seen it in practice, so it's not as surprising to us, but he's got some speed, and I don't know if he's got 15 moves. We tried to limit the shake and bake from him, just run as fast as you can, and I think he did a better job. He had some good scrambles today, but he's done that in practice, so as is Fernando.
Anything else?
Good.